Man, have you ever been in a position where you don't know what to say back to somebody when they insult you, right? They say a belittling statement or something that just like really hurt your feelings, but you don't know what to say back. I found myself in that position so many times. I mean, growing up with family, friends, and I was just that guy I didn't have a quick comeback. I don't know how many of y'all can relate to that. Drop in the comments if you can. But I really just never understood how to come back and respond to somebody that really insulted me. I think it was something that I used to just be hard on myself about. I'm like, is this not something that I'm capable of doing? Am I just like completely different from everybody in my family and friends? I just felt like an outlier because I never had that skill that I thought was a skill of just coming back and insulting somebody back. But now I realize that it was something that we had to unlearn in our culture, right? Unlearning the habit of insulting and belittling people, insulting people. Because one thing that I realized in life, right, was that we all have power in our words. There's power in the things that we say to people. There's power in our conversations. And growing up, I realized that people always would, joke around and, we call it flaming. We call it, just cracking jokes on people. But in reality, it was causing invisible scars within ourselves that we didn't even know that was pushing on insecurities, right? And specifically for me, I can speak for myself and say that normally growing up or being in friend groups that would joke all the time and joke on each other and just, naturally put each other down, but in a cultural, exciting way, I never really understood how much it was affecting me until now, right? I never really understood how much it was really affecting my mindset, because sometimes we don't think of how is this really making me feel. And I've always heard, that, every joke has a little truth in it. That's why it's funny. So I really started to think about wow, what is it within me that I have to figure out so that I can continue to pour into myself, but also pour into other people. So our words have power, y'all, right? So our words have power. So we have to think about, what are you saying to people and what's your intent? I told myself this year, I want to be so much more intentional with the things that I say, so much more intentional with the conversations that I have. And with that, maybe I have to set a new trend within my friend group, right? Or maybe I just gotta change my friend group because I don't want to be in an uncomfortable situation. And I don't know if you guys can relate, but have you ever been in a situation where you just get real uncomfortable because you don't know what to say or you don't know how to react to the energy that's in the room? That's negative, right? That's some negative energy, and it's you're feeling like that for a reason, right? It's your mind, it's your body, it's your soul combating that energy that's in that room. And I realized that, me feeling that way, me feeling uncomfortable was valid. You shouldn't feel comfortable when somebody is, telling you what's wrong with you. Sometimes we grow up in life and we are constantly hearing what's wrong with us. We're constantly hearing these jokes, but they're really eating at us inside, right? They're really causing these invisible scars. And the reason why I call them invisible scars, y'all, is because everybody can't see them. People don't know what we battle at the end of the day. People don't know what the things that's going through our head that's actually causing us to question our worthiness, question our value. Man, I used to question it so much that, I really thought something was wrong with me. I used to think that something was wrong with me because I never understood why it felt wrong in those environments. Although my family and my friends would just, laugh and they would joke and, it just made them feel good, but it didn't make me feel good, right? Is it okay to be an outlier? Is it okay to be different? Is it okay to step out on something different? Is it okay to pour into people as an asset and not as a liability? So I think that's one of the things I figured out was the same way that we can use our words to destroy and defeat, although it may not seem like that at that time, is the same way we can use our words to empower. So I want to challenge y'all, right? I want to challenge y'all that whatever you're doing, whatever you're saying, do it with intent and say it to empower, right? I want you to start speaking life into people instead of speaking doubt on them or speaking on their insecurities or speaking on things that can potentially hurt somebody just for a quick laugh. I want you to understand that you have the power within your words, and with that you can change the world. And you might be like, Pat, how can I change the world? You can change the world with using the gift that you have, which is speaking, right? And you might be like, how is that a gift? It's a gift because you can speak life into someone, but you can also speak defeat into someone, something that can actually cause them to feel enclosed, feel trapped, feel prevented from actually stepping out into who they are. I'll call it suppressing our voice. You can suppress somebody's voice by telling them something that they already knew about themselves, that they might actually feel uncomfortable about. So some of our voices might be suppressed from our childhood memories, right? I would say my voice was suppressed because people used to always say different things about me that I thought was true. And then I started to realize, wow, my true value comes from what I actually believe within myself. So what are you training, you know what I'm saying, within your environments, within your friend groups, with the text messages? How do you have fun? How do you, reach that happiness within your circle, with the people that we call our loved ones? Let's hit on that word love, though, because I think a lot of people might use that loosely. Let's hit on that word love. A lot of people use joking as a love language. In our culture, we use, belittling people as a love language, right? We joke on them, we laugh, At the time it's funny, at the time everybody having a, cool and chill time. But then at the end of the night, who has to deal with those words? It's the people that was joked on, right? You got to deal with those words. So you got to remember this. You got to remember, how are you using your love, right? Is your love language based off of belittling somebody and insulting somebody? And is that really love? Like, can you really say that you love somebody, by putting them down, by speaking negative energy into their life? I personally don't operate like that.
Is there 5 love languages?
Man,
like everybody says.
I'll be real with you. I don't think there's 5. Like, why should we put a quantity of love? To me, love is endless, right? Love is endless. So why should we say there's 5 categories of it? Right? Everybody has their different level of love. Everybody has their different version of love. And it's such an endless entity, endless being, that you can't put a number on it. Me specifically, everybody has their different ways of showing love. So I can't put a number like 5 on it, right? I can't put a number like 100 on it or 1,000 on it. There's so many different things that we can tie into love, but one thing I can't tie to it is a number. And I realize that we all have our different ways of showing it. So how are you showing your love? And are you confined to the way that people have been showing you love in your past? Is it trauma that you're dealing with? And are, like, the way that love was shown to you, are you now showing it in that same capacity? I'm gonna challenge you to rethink and to audit the way that you show your love in your life.
Are you supposed to feel love, or how do you give love?
You give love by understanding the love that you have for yourself. And you can't give something you don't have. So y'all might hear me say it all the time, to align with love, peace, and happiness. I say that because you have to understand how to love yourself before you can show love to anybody. In the same capacity, you got to be able to have love for yourself before you can truly receive it. How can you receive something that you don't even know of? You got to know love by having love for yourself, right? And that's something I've been building on. I've been aligning with loving myself unconditionally, loving myself through the pain, loving myself through mistakes, through storms, right? So that's something I've been doing with love. And I think we all have our different ways of doing it. And I think you should ask yourself, how do I love on me? Think about it. And I want y'all to even drop in the comments, how do you love yourself? What conditions of love do you have? What routines of love do you have? Like I said, love is a being. Love doesn't have a quantity. So it can be whatever you decide for it to be, but you got to remember that you can't ask for anything that you don't have within yourself. How are you going to ask for love or to be in love when you don't even have it for yourself? That's something I'm going to ask you for real. It's a rhetorical question, but I want you to think about it. If you don't have love within, how can you truly be in love with anybody? How can you truly even tell somebody that you love them when you don't love yourself? That's my personal opinion. But I think we need to dissect that. We need to go more into unlearning our natural habits of showing love. Something that we may have learned as a child, right? Something that our family and our friends may have been doing for the longest, and we just started to grab hold to it and started to do it for ourselves. Redefine love in your life. Figure out what it looks like, what it feels like, what it sounds like. And I think that's something that's going to be able to change so much more. Because when you find that within yourself, you'll never be able to have it on any condition. So it starts interior. It starts internally, right? So that's the way that love should be foundationally found. It's within, and then it can be spread throughout the world. So I would say that, y'all, start figuring out how are you having those conversations, how are you speaking, how are you using your words, and it's powerful, right? It's an investment into your environment, into your space. So figure out what that space looks like for you. And again, family, I'm here for y'all. Drop in the comments what y'all feel about love, what y'all feel about the manners of joking and belittling and insulting people. Is that one of the ways that you show love? And you might even disagree with me, but I want to hear about it. All right, fam. Love, peace, and happiness. Tap in, don't ever tap out.